Hey, this is Individual Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Daris D. McKinney, and we're in the hustle and bustle of it, yeah. Happy New Year's, and I got to start off by saying we got some tragic news for the New Year's. So we can't really be celebratory too much on this introduction episode because we have to give you guys some breaking news and everything like that. So um, let me not try to figure out how to do a how can I say a changeover into breaking news. Let me just kind of throw you guys straight into it.
Canal and Bourbon Street. At least another 30 people had to be hospitalized. This all happening just hours ago on undoubtedly one of the busiest nights of the year, with New Year's and the Sugar Bowl taking place later today. Right now, there's still a huge police presence at the scene, including the FBI, the coroner's office.
A New Year's tragedy unfolding in New Orleans earlier this morning.
Multiple people are dead, and at least 30 have been hospitalized after a car plowed into the crowd.
Yeah, tragic. Chanley Painter joins us now. Chanley, what do we know so far?
Yeah, it is a developing story, but we have confirmed that at least 10 people are dead after a car drove into a large crowd celebrating New Year's on Canal and Bourbon Street. At least another 30 people had to be hospitalized. This all happening just hours ago on undoubtedly one of the busiest nights of the year, with New Year's and the Sugar Bowl taking place later today. Right now, there's still a huge police presence at the scene, including the FBI, the coroner's office, and the mayor also said to be at that scene. Now, the driver reportedly got out of the vehicle and fired a weapon. Police are said to have returned fire. No word yet at this point on the state of the suspect responsible. Witnesses telling local reporters, though, they heard some loud banging and then looked outside and there were bodies on the floor. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry posting this moments ago on X. A horrific act of violence took place on Bourbon Street earlier this morning. Please join Sharon and I in praying for all the victims and first responders on the scene. I urge all near the scene to avoid the area. And like I said, this is developing. I'm constantly checking my phone with updates as we're learning from the New Orleans police. We expect a press conference soon, guys.
All right, Chanley Painter, thank you very much.
Okay, so that gives you guys the news. We have a crazy terrorist act on the beginning of the year in New Orleans. So we don't really got to listen to that commentary because has more like theorizing and bloviating than actually accurate information. So let's go to the next clip. But this is in New Orleans. It's on 10 people dead, 30 people hurt, and it's a terrorist that plowed through the actual crowd and everything like that. So it's just like we're getting the kind of Paris and London attacks and everything where they're kind of using automobiles to do it. But also, if you heard in the first clip that I played, it was some gunfire. So I guess they approached the actual truck. And I want to show you guys that truck because I got a couple things I want to say about that truck that pisses me off. You get what I'm saying? And one of those things is that it's a $40,000 to $50,000 truck that they intentionally used to do the terrorist act to, and the terrorists got plenty of funds to do ignorant stuff too. You get what I'm saying? But people are struggling in the country because of the high inflation and everything. And I'm not even getting started in that. My point of it is that like the destruction of this country is well funded. It's well funded. Like with enemies within or exterior enemies, domestic terrorists with our politicians and crazy radical liberals and everything is just as ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show you guys an image of the truck as the cops approached it. I'm gonna get you some more images. This is all breaking news, so I'm really kind of doing this like doing a pop-up on this, and slows down my internet sometimes when I'm using so much of the system to kind of bring information in to you guys. But I just wanted you to get a bird's eye view on this attack. I'm gonna play another clip or so, and then we'll wrap this up. But I just wanted to, make sure that I bring you guys my opinion on this and my individual perspective on this. Let me show you the I think it's like a F-150 or something like that. So if you look at that, that's like a F-150 truck and everything, and it's modern and it's new. So yeah, at least doing thing can't have more than like 20,000 miles on it. So they use that to ram into people, because obviously you need something really strong and big to do all that kind of damage, and even killing 10 people and hurting 30. That means that he had good force with that thing. So it's just tragedy and stuff like that. So I just wanted to play that for you guys, or show you that image and everything like that. And then let's get back to the news and see what the update reporting is. As we go, they're giving more updates to the reporting of what happened and everything like that. So I want to bring that to your attention.
Former FBI agent and Fox News contributor Nicole Parker. Nicole, thank you for waking up for us on this New Year's Day. You are seeing the news unfold, and we are trying to parse and make sense of the unbelievably conflicting messages coming from the mayor, calling it a terror attack, and then the now FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Aletha Duncan, immediately saying it was not.
Griff, first of all, thank you for having me join. What a horrible tragedy. I mean, we're waking up with hope for 2025. I was literally out running, and I got a text message from Fox asking if I could join. And here we are, again, discussing another tragedy in our country. I agree with you. That press conference was not good. You cannot send a conflicting message out to the American people and give them reassurance that everything's okay. That was very confusing, and you're exactly right. You have someone from the police department coming out and saying it's terrorism, and then you have FBI coming out and saying it is not terrorism, but there are IEDs involved.
That's crazy.
My gut instinct, this is terrorism. The FBI is taking over this for a reason. There will be a lot of information that will come out. I do know individuals that are on the ground there right now. This is very serious. This is the real deal. They're going to do a very full and thorough investigation. At this point, that's all I can tell you, Griff, is that this is the real deal. You will get more information coming soon. Likely involves I think that there's definitely some foreign terrorist organization groups involved.
Former FBI.
So funny how they kind of I don't want to say it's terrorist, but it is terrorist. It's ridiculous. Just say it, y'all. After 9/11, we still trying to parse if we're being racist or something like that, or we're jumping the gun. No, he got enough information. Well, especially when people posting stuff on Twitter and everything, you got well enough information, especially if the guy gets into a gunfight with the cops and then he gets killed. You automatically know that it's intentional now. So what are we talking about here? What's the hesitation?
And I do believe that it is terrorism. The fact that the FBI is taking over, that is a very strong indication. And based on information that I have, this is the real deal, and it is very serious.
Hi, Nicole. Thanks so much for being with us. This is Nicole. Question for you. Chief Kirkpatrick said that they spoke to the White House and that the FBI is going to be taking over the investigation. And then, Special Agent Duncan then came out and said this is not a terrorism event. I feel like she was alluding to maybe at this time, what would it take for them to declare this a terrorist event? Maybe they're waiting for more information or confirmation of something. But what is it that they would be looking for to actually give it that?
See, this is my problem with a lot of these Fox News anchors. They try to be too slick, or they try to be too clever, or they try to be too I don't even know if it's by the book. I think they just are trying to manipulate the viewer, and they got common sense there, and they know the more detailed information that's behind the scenes. They just not reporting it. So it's always 3 layers of data that's going on in reporting you to you guys. One is the brutality of it and how to curate it to put it on broadcast. 2 is informative information that you actually know the most likely outcome of it. So they already know about the gunfight. They already know about who the guy is, and the truck came over from the border in 2 days ago and stuff like that. They already got that information. They just not reporting it to you guys. And so and then it's the 3rd level is just the common sense and the was allowed to be speculated, but at the same time as close as possible to the data that they already know is true. So when she's actually saying, "Oh, we don't know if this is this and this is," we don't know, we don't understand what's going on, and we don't know why the FBI is taking over. You know, the FBI is taking over the case, you idiot. Why would the FBI be taking over a case? Why would they be forcing a New Orleans murder into a mass murder into an actual FBI federal prosecution situation? Why would they be doing that? It's either got to be terrorism or it's got to be something that's was caused because it's under the regulation of the federal government. So this is my problem with like the media. Y'all gotta figure it out, because people are just not trained to go to Twitter or X or YouTube or Rumble to get their news, because those guys, they don't got good banners like Fox News or good animations or good lighting and good structure and all that stuff. So the human eye likes to look at quality. You get what I'm saying? So people still turning on CNN. People still don't turn on MSNBC. People still turning on Fox News, no matter how much information that they consume on YouTube and X and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all other platforms, social media platforms, YouTube and all that, and Rumble. They still adjusting it from the mainstream media, because they got billions of dollars to make sure that they sets are looking good, that the graphics are looking good, that the audio sounds clean. So that's what this is. So it's just everybody want to cut off each other's head because they're in competitive mode, but y'all not stepping up to the plate like Fox News or MSNBC or CNN. All you podcasters, all you social influencers, call yourself talking about the news and different things that's going on in the country. You guys suck in the competitive zone. So that's what I wanted to kind of, I know I'm bitching and moaning about it, but let me get back to the news.
That classification.
Right. So there have been instances that I've, responded to, and initially it could go either way, right? It could go with the locals, it could go with the feds, but anytime that there's mention or indication or sign of something like ISIS, that's going to go to FBI. Okay. So anything that is declared or appears to be terrorist related, whether it is or it is not in the end, if there are any indications that it could be, that's going to automatically go to FBI. The fact that it is going to FBI, that is a strong indication of what is going on right now. Again, I have sources that this is a terrorist event.
Nicole, so if you've said some things and you hadn't said them together. You know people there, you have sources. You strongly believe this is a terrorist attack. You even went so far as to say, potentially foreign actors involved, maybe similar to incidents have happened. So if we take that at face value, if we take this idea that 2 out of 3 people essentially called it a terrorist attack, then we deduced that perhaps the assistant special agent in charge misspoke. If that were the case, is there any honest at the FBI?
Okay, let me let you, I'm going to pause that for a second, because they keep mentioning the press conference, so I want to go to the press conference. I'm actually grabbing stuff as we go, you guys. So, this is all in real time, and I'm grabbing news clippings and everything like that. So let's go to the news conference.
Good morning. First of all, we do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation. You'll hear more after me. However, I have been in direct contact with the White House, with Governor Landry, and of course a unified command who is present here. What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due.
Okay. So she's pretty much she's the mayor, right? And she's kind of already came out and already initiated. And this is where I guess after her, the FBI, they step up to the podium and they kind of contradict what she said about it being a terrorist attack, but she already got information from them that it is, and the person is linked to terrorism, but they tried to do what FBI do and the federal government do. They try to put one over us, and it didn't work. It just didn't work. And then they still had to come out and contradict themselves because the data is overwhelming. It's ridiculous.
Good morning. First of all, we do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation. You'll hear more after me. However, I have been in direct contact with the White House, with Governor Landry, and of course a unified command who is present here. What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due to this tragedy. In addition to that, I'm asking the public to stay clear of 8 blocks around Bourbon Street. Stay clear from Bourbon Street, 8 blocks around. Very active, and again, a unified command is in place right now. I'm going to ask Chief Kirkpatrick to give you an update. You're then going to hear from our agent in charge relative to the FBI. So at this time, Chief Kirkpatrick.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to give you as much of the information I possibly can. We are going to give you an update a couple of times today. So we will give you just the basics this morning, all right? We had this event started at about 3:15. At a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. It was not a DUI situation. This is a more complex and more serious based on the information we have right now. With respect to numbers, we have right now, and as you already know, this could change throughout the day. We do know that there are 26 injured people who are at UMC Hospital. We know we have 4 at Turo, 4 at Ochsner Baptist, 1 at Tulane, but even as I was walking out the door, I believe I have an unconfirmed additional people who have been taken to other area hospitals, possibly on the east side. But we will give you as many correct numbers as we can as the day progresses. It is a very tragic situation for me to tell you that we know we have 10 people that this man killed on Bourbon Street. That is why we do not want anyone on Bourbon Street today. Wherever you see yellow tape, please do not violate this tape. This is in order to protect and stabilize the scene. We have information to a certain degree of the demographics of those who are in the hospital right now. We do not know at this point how many could be tourists versus locals, but from the information I have right now, it seems the majority are locals versus tourists. What I also can tell you is that this man, this perpetrator, he fired on our officers from his vehicle when he crashed his vehicle. 2 of our officers have been shot. They are stable, and we will give you an update on them. I have yet been able to go to the hospital. I will be leaving here for us to go visit our officers. We have called in every officer that we have. We have so much appreciated our partnerships who have also offered us staff. Last night, we had over 300 officers out here. And because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades in order to conduct this, he was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. Because of the nature and the indices that we have on the scene, and we have enough information that the FBI will be taking over this investigation. And with that, I am going to be asking, this is the assistant agent in charge. This is Agent Duncan, Special Agent Duncan, and she has taken over this case on behalf of us and the FBI. As always, we will be in partnership with all of our partners. But Agent Duncan, if you want to have a few words for everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
It would be a liberal-ass black woman messes up the narrative and contradicts herself. Look, I'm not even going to accuse her. Let's listen to her. Forgive me, guys. I know. I jumped the gun. I just know from the other reporting that whoever the FBI agent, they contradicted what the actual mayor and the actual chief of police said, and said, oh, this is not a terrorist act. We don't know this is a terrorist act. And then they had to come back on and say it's a terrorist act. So this is ridiculous. Look. I know I got triggered and I threw out a comment on there, but look, this is, I'm telling you, we were supposed to improve by putting black people in power. And the Black Caucus is a terrible situation in the Congress. Just think about the statues that the Black Caucus passed. They literally helped pass it. When an FBI agent walks up to you and asks you a question, and if you don't even remember accurately, or if you say something that's false, which you have the right to say anything that's false, because it's their job to find the evidence against you. But if you say something false to an FBI agent when they question you, they can actually arrest you and put you in jail for 5 years because you lied or you misremembered something that they asked you. And that statute was put in law by Black Americans. At the least kept in law by Black Americans, meaning that for a federal government employee or law enforcement to come and ask you information for you to criminalize yourself, that's against your Fourth Amendment right. If they ask you anything about you, that's information that's on your person, of your own entity, that's against your Fourth Amendment right. And then for you not to even answer them, it's against your First Amendment right. So this is ridiculous that the statute like that is still, with all the power that the Black Caucus had for the last 20, 30, 40 years, and it's still in law to destroy American citizens like that. So they could use coming up to question you, and that if they got preemptive information that they know you're lying or you're not telling the exact truth of it, they can put you in. They can say, hey, you need to testify or this, or you need to admit to this, or you need to give me information on this person or this situation because I just caught you in a lie and I could give you 5 years in jail. It's ridiculous. So when I'm seeing mayors, governors, senators, congressmen, celebrities, politicians, and they telling you, they trying to make you advocate for the liberal and the illogical point of view of government, I'm pretty nasty about it. So that's why I attacked this lady, because she's an FBI agent and she's coming to the podium. Look, I'm not going to assume that it's her. It may be another FBI agent that they're going to bring on, but let's see.
Morning. My name is Alethea Duncan. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in Charge for FBI New Orleans. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we'll be taking over the investigative lead for this event. This is not a terrorist event.
How you say that? Oh, what I tell you? You see how strong and masculine she says that? It's just, dude, that's the problem right there. Holy shit, she came in. Oh, I'm taking over this event. Event? This massacre, this murder, this terrorist act, or this radical. You could call it something else instead of event. I called her pretty good, so I don't take back any of my outlandish comments on her being a black liberal nut.
Duncan, and she has taken over this case on behalf of us and the FBI. As always, we will be in partnership with all of our partners. But Agent Duncan, if you want to have a few words for everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. My name is Alethea Duncan. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI New Orleans. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we'll be taking over the investigative lead for this event. This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found, and we are
improvised explosive that you found, and the person intentionally ran over hundreds of people, hurting about 30 people and killing 10 people, and you want to say that it's not a terrorist event? It's not a terrorist event with the plowing of multiple people and aggressively, intentionally trying to mow them down with a truck. And then additional, they got like explosives on them. And additional, they get out the car and start shooting at the cops, shooting 2 cops. And then before the other cops killed the guy, and you want to say this is not a terrorist event? Ridiculous.
working on confirming if this is a viable device or not. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we're asking everyone to stay away from Bourbon Street, specifically from Canal Street to St. Anne. That is my ask. Once again, stay away from Bourbon Street, Canal
She made
Street.
her first news reporting. I don't know if she even got like, this is probably her first like national thing coverage or something. And her first one, she's an incompetent liberal idiot. And or at the same time, she's such a patsy for the government that she doesn't even know how to say, hey, I'm not going to go out and say that this is accurate to the situation. We know too much information. I'm not going to talk to the, I'd rather not comment. I'd rather let whatever they say comment, and we say, hey, we will notify you if we confirm all the information that was already spoken from the mayor and the chief of police. That's how you would say that. You don't come in and totally wash everything they said, and then you got to come back and admit that they were right. Ridiculous. So she's she get paid a couple $100,000 for nothing. It's ridiculous.
All the way to St. Anne until we can figure out what is going on.
What is
Our goal
going
is to provide
on?
you additional information.
This happened at like 3 a.m, and by the time they get this press conference, it's about probably 5, 6 in the morning or something like that. Lady, you know what's up.
At the 11 a.m. press conference. Thank you so much, and we will be in touch.
Yes. I will say that we want our community and our visitors to continue enjoying. There's so much to enjoy about New Orleans, and we are going to...
You got to let that play out. You can't even say, hey, we want you to keep partying. And 10 people just got killed and murdered and just maimed because we don't know how to control our border. And Biden decided to say, fuck you, America. But keep going ahead, keep going partying. We want you to spend money. We want you. You can't even say that. You just got to let the people do what they're going to do because they there already. They flight probably don't leave until tomorrow. Or later today or whatever, because they just came in town for the actual New Year's party and stuff. You just gotta let that play out. That people not gonna just stay in their room or they're gonna go to a restaurant or everything like that. No matter what, but don't intentionally make it that a bunch of people partying and there's 40 people that's completely lives altered because of terrorist act, and we're not watching everybody. Okay, it's ridiculous. I don't even want to get started with this. I'll let this. It's only 49 seconds left. I'll let her finish up.
Make sure that our routes in the Superdome are safe today for the game, and yet we had this tragic event, and we're sorry.
I don't know why it's stopping. Kind of weird. Back that up a little bit.
Sure that our routes in the Superdome are safe today for the game, and yet we had this tragic event, and we're sorry.
Yeah, getting a freeze on this video. So, but she's just wrapping it up to them to like try to have fun and everything like that. So let's go to let me see. This is
Device.
We actually are not going to be taking questions this morning until we have more information. That's why we will give you an 11 o'clock briefing. So until then, please hold your questions. We will give you everything that we possibly can, okay? So 11 o'clock, we will see you at the headquarters, and we will go again from there. Okay.
As we continue to cover a vehicle ramming attack that has occurred on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, we just got a statement from President-elect Trump on the New Orleans attack. He says, quote, "When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all of the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil."
Okay, so I'm gonna now you guys are totally caught up to where we're at pretty much. I'm gonna see as I talk to you guys, what's any updates that they might have for literally the reporting, because as I was talking to you guys, I think they were supposed to have one at 11 o'clock. So I may have just came on and didn't see it. So I want to see if there's any current reporting, because I know they were talking about the gentleman's truck. They seen it cross over the border like 2 days ago, and it looks like it's a Hispanic guy. So in that situation, or every guy, I don't know, can't tell you. I'm not gonna say for sure what I seen, but I know that they did give that reporting, and I think I found the clip here to talk about it. Truck cross border November 16th. ID of driver doesn't appear to be suspect. So maybe somebody else was driving the car and then he borrowed it, or I don't know, man. This is crazy. Or maybe an American person brought it across and smuggled the guy across and then let him go do the act. But that person's got to be linked to him if it's a couple of days ago or something like that. Truck crossover border. It's not a couple of days ago. Well, maybe they left and then came back, because I heard that it was like a couple of days ago. So I got a clip of it right here. So let me play this for you guys before I shut this down and go get more information that's a little bit more concrete. Okay? And I don't see anything posted on the actual updated press conference. It could be going on as I'm speaking to you guys. So, but I do want to play this report about the truck crossing the border, because that would kind of get you every single thing you need to know. And then I'll come back in after I gather some information about the press conference and when they release the guy's name and all that stuff like that. Because they haven't released that yet. But I want to grab this clip to show you guys. If you give me 1 second so I can do that. Yes. I need this internet to catch up with me. It's almost there. 10 seconds left. Then I can go grab that clip and we can play it, and then I can keep you guys be updated. And Happy New Year's, guys. this Individual Perspective podcast, and I will give you my objective analysis of everyday events, news, even social dynamics between the human evolution of humanity and how even the social dynamics of relationships and all that stuff. But we're going to give an individual perspective on it. And what is individual perspective is when your truth is the objective truth, and the things that come out of your mind, the things that come out of your mouth, the things that come out of your mind, the things you believe in, it can hold up to scrutiny because you're not believing in like a biased narrative where your own truth, your truth is the objective truth. And that's what we offer here when we cover things and we communicate about things on Individual Perspective Podcast. So that's what we do here. So here we go. Let me bring this clip in to the system. And then go.
Let's bring in David Spunt. He and R. Griff Jenkins are able to report that the suspect drove a truck with a Texas license plate that came through Eagle Pass, Texas, 2 days ago. Let's bring in David Spunt. He and R. Griff Jenkins are able to report that the suspect drove a truck with a Texas license plate that came through Eagle Pass, Texas, 2 days ago. David, what else do you know about this vehicle?
So we're hearing that the vehicle was traced to coming across from Mexico into the United States at Eagle Pass, Texas, 2 days ago. To be clear, we don't 100% know that this man, and we do know the suspect is a man, was the person driving that crossed the border. That is unclear at this point. We just know that the actual license plate was picked up by a reader at a border crossing. This is per two federal law enforcement sources to Fox News, that it was picked up crossing at that border station at Eagle Pass, Texas, 2 days ago. I know that raises more questions than answers, but we are providing information to our viewers as we get it, the most accurate information. So that's what we know right now. As far as the name of the suspect, we don't know. We've heard several names right now, but we want to be sure we have the accurate name before we say anything about a name and before we broadcast that at all. So we're going to be getting an update here in a couple of hours. Again, the FBI is leading this investigation. President Biden has been briefed. He's been speaking to the mayor, the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, Department of Justice, all involved. Attorney General Merrick Garland putting out a statement. Still waiting on an actual statement from President Biden. He's on his way to Camp David. Perhaps he might speak at the airport before he heads to Camp David. He was in Delaware. He spent the night in Delaware New Year's Eve. But as far as this Eagle Pass, Texas situation is concerned, again, we don't know that this person was actually crossing the border. So there would likely be some sort of photograph that was taken at the border because there are license plate readers and whatnot. And we know that images are captured at border crossings. But what's not clear is who specifically was driving. And the other thing that's not entirely clear right now is the status, the immigration status of this driver. Brian?
Fascinating key details there. David Spunt, stay on it. Thank you. Let's bring in David Spunt.
Okay.
He and R. Griff Jenkins are able to report that the suspect drove a truck with a Texas to report that.
Sorry about that. Okay, so that's kind of gives you guys up to date on everything. Like I said, Happy New Year's. I know it's not such a Happy New Year, but I do want to say it. And it's a tragic situation that's happened and stuff like that. So, I just want to bring you guys the news and make sure that we're current on the information that goes on and everything, and the press conference and everything like that. And I'll give you guys a call back up. And this Individual Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Daris D. McKinney. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to be doing this like this pretty much from now and on. I'm going to try my best to keep up with everything and come in and communicate with you guys and be current and make sure that we be reliable into how we report and talk about the everyday situations that's going on with all of us, okay? And I will see you guys on the next episode, and I'll come back in once I get some more information about the actual news of the press conferences and stuff like that because I'm pretty sure if I go on X that they probably got more information on the guy than our media does, or that our media even given us, okay? So I will see you guys on the next one, and Happy New Year's. And my name is Daris D. McKinney, and this is Individual Perspective Podcast.